I want to thank Tim Cook. He's a great, great man, a visionary, a businessman, just about every quality he can have other than athleticism. I don't know about that. I'm looking at him. I'm not.
South Park just threw Apple's polished image straight into chaos, and Tim Cook was at the center of it. In the latest episode, the Apple CEO walks into the White House with a carefully crafted plaque, only to be drowned out by billionaires waving diamond toilet handles and platinum jets. His attempt at flattery, awkwardly insisting Trump definitely does not have a small penis, was clipped, memed, and mocked within minutes of airing. The humiliation was so sharp it turned Apple's quiet leader into a punchline, leaving everyone asking the same thing. Did South Park just expose the side of Tim Cook Apple never wanted us to see? Sick of fancy.
Mr. President, your ideas for the tech industry are so innovative, and you definitely do not have a small penis.
Ah, thanks,
Please accept this gift.
South Park has always thrived on turning real-world figures into cartoonish parodies, but in Sick of Fancy, Apple CEO Tim Cook becomes the latest target in one of the most bizarre White House spectacles the show has ever created. The episode throws viewers straight into a surreal scene where Trump sits at the center of attention while CEOs and world leaders shuffle in one by one, each clutching over-the-top gifts meant to win his favor. It feels less like political diplomacy and more like a twisted reality show where billionaires compete to outdo each other with extravagant offerings.
Hey, Satan! Look at what some dipshit tech CEO gave me. I was thinking maybe we could try to shove it up your ass.
Hello? Yeah, I'm in a relationship with someone and I really need to find a way out of it.
When it's Tim Cook's turn, the satire cuts especially deep. Cook, known in real life for his quiet diplomacy and careful language, steps forward with a sleek Apple plaque. The design is understated, almost humble compared to the chaos surrounding him. But before he even gets a chance to hand it over, he delivers an awkward line of flattery. Mr. President, your ideas for the tech industry are so innovative, and you definitely do not have a small penis. The delivery is classic South Park, absurd, blunt, and designed to instantly strip away any dignity. Trump barely acknowledges Cook before brushing him aside, mocking his attempt at diplomacy, and shifting the spotlight back to louder, flashier billionaires. What makes this scene sting is how closely it mirrors real events. In reality, Tim Cook found himself navigating Trump's demands for Apple to move more manufacturing into the United States. He announced billions in investments, but stopped short of the one thing Trump wanted most: a fully made-in-America iPhone. South Park exaggerates this balancing act by turning Cook's corporate diplomacy into sheer desperation. Instead of appearing calm and in control, he looks like a nervous school kid caught in a circus he can't escape. His carefully polished corporate image gets flipped upside down, and that contrast makes the parody land perfectly. The writers sharpen the humiliation by surrounding Cook with rivals who completely overshadow him. Mark Zuckerberg arrives with a diamond-encrusted toilet handle, while another mogul wheels in a platinum jet figurine. Compared to these flashy absurdities, Cook's Apple plaque looks tiny, almost laughable. The satire here isn't just aimed at Cook, it's aimed at the entire tech world, where competition for influence often looks more like theater than business. By showing Cook as the understated CEO caught in a room full of show-offs, South Park highlights how even Apple, with its polished image and market dominance, isn't immune to looking small when thrown into the rough game of political flattery. The gift parade from hell.
Satan? Why are you so sad?
If Tim Cook's humiliation wasn't enough, South Park takes the satire even further by transforming the White House into what can only be described as a grotesque gift parade. The imagery is unforgettable. CEOs, billionaires, and world leaders march into the Oval Office like contestants on a bizarre game show, each one desperate to outshine the last. Their goal isn't to solve global problems or negotiate policy, it's simply to keep Trump smiling. The absurdity lies in the escalation, as every gift becomes more over the top than the one before it. Cook's simple Apple plaque quickly fades into the background once the other characters begin their performances. Zuckerberg's diamond-encrusted toilet handle becomes the centerpiece of the scene, its ridiculousness amplified by Trump's exaggerated delight. Then comes the platinum jet figurine, gleaming under the White House lights, making Cook's plaque look even more insignificant. The gifts are outrageous, but that's the joke. South Park is showing how corporate lobbying and political influence can feel like a competition of who can flash the most wealth and power, rather than who has the best ideas. What makes the parody land so hard is the way Trump responds. He doesn't graciously accept the offerings or thank the guests for their efforts. Instead, he mocks, insults, and dismisses them, tossing aside billionaires as if they're nothing more than props in his spectacle. The sycophancy becomes almost painful to watch. These supposedly powerful figures, people who control vast companies and fortunes, are reduced to clowns begging for approval. It's hilarious, but it's also uncomfortably accurate. Tim Cook, known for his careful balance between business and politics, gets swallowed whole in this environment. Apple's reputation for control and polish is useless in a room where bombast is the only language spoken. South Park turns him into just another contestant, stripped of the prestige that usually comes with the Apple name. That transformation is where the satire bites hardest, because it forces the audience to see Cook not as a powerful CEO, but as another player in a chaotic system where influence matters more than substance. By exaggerating the gift-giving into a circus, South Park exposes the darker side of political access. Lobbying often happens behind closed doors, with corporations and leaders offering favors or investments to secure influence. By putting it on screen as a slapstick parade, the show makes that invisible process both ridiculous and undeniable. It's no longer hidden, it's a spectacle for everyone to see. Cook's public humiliation.
Great ideas, and I'm sure we can figure out an exit plan if that's what you want.
Who you talking to?
Do you really think I could get away from him?
Tim Cook's appearance in Sick of Fancy might be one of South Park's most savage takedowns of a tech CEO yet. On paper, Cook should have stood out. He arrives at the White House with a carefully crafted Apple plaque meant to symbolize the company's U.S. investments and its balance between politics and business. Apple has always tried to project itself as above the noise, calm, cautious, and neutral. But the show tears that image apart in seconds. Instead of being treated with respect, Cook's gesture becomes the center of humiliation. He delivers his line of over-the-top flattery, gets brushed aside almost instantly, and watches as louder, flashier billionaires steal the spotlight with ridiculous gifts. The real twist comes later, when Trump carries the Apple plaque off to his private bedroom with Satan, turning it into an actual punchline, literally. What began as Cook's symbol of influence ends up as the butt of a crude joke, and fans quickly labeled it one of the wildest and most shocking twists of the season. The symbolism is obvious. Even Apple, with all its power and prestige, isn't immune from being dragged through the mud when politics and ego collide. This works so well as satire because it plays off Cook's real leadership style. Unlike Steve Jobs, who was known for his charisma and boldness, Cook has built his reputation on quiet diplomacy and careful decision-making. Apple, under his leadership, is cautious, steady, and always seeking to stay just neutral enough to avoid political blowback while still protecting its business interests. South Park twists that into pure comedy by showing what happens when careful neutrality meets a circus of power. Instead of coming across as the steady hand of Apple, Cook looks timid, awkward, and ultimately powerless. AI Chaos with Randy Marsh.
Do not have a small penis.
Ah, thanks, yeah.
Please accept this gift on behalf of Apple.
Next!
While Tim Cook is being dragged through the mud at the White House, another subplot unfolds that takes aim at the tech industry's biggest obsession right now, artificial intelligence. Randy Marsh, always the character who finds himself swept up in the latest trend, decides to reinvent Tegrity Farms as Tegrity AI. Suddenly his cannabis company is no longer just about weed. It's about being an AI-powered marijuana platform for global solutions. The words are ridiculous, the pitch is chaotic, and the scene captures perfectly how companies throw around buzzwords to sound cutting edge, even when they have no idea what they're doing. Randy's obsession spirals out of control as he spouts jargon about algorithms, platforms, and innovation, all while microdosing ketamine in the name of expanding his mind. It's South Park at its sharpest, mocking the way real tech giants scramble to stay ahead in the AI race. Every major company, Apple included, has been under pressure to position itself as a leader in AI. But behind the polished press releases and carefully staged events, there's a real sense of chaos, an industry chasing something it doesn't fully understand. Randy's meltdown is an exaggerated mirror of that desperation.
Mr. President Trump is Satan, and I'm not saying if he is or he isn't. I'm just kind of hoping he is. He mostly likely is coming in from the back.
What makes this subplot so clever is how it connects back to Cook's humiliation. On one side, you have Cook, the careful, cautious CEO, trying to maintain Apple's polished image in front of political power. On the other, you have Randy, a reckless parody of the tech world's obsession with staying relevant no matter the cost. Both are trapped in the same race for influence, Cook in the political arena, Randy in the technological one. One bends too far to politics, the other loses himself to hype. The contrast is hilarious, but it also shows how even the biggest players aren't really in control. South Park uses Randy's absurd AI company to point out a truth the industry doesn't want to admit. Much of the AI gold rush is about appearances. Companies are terrified of being left behind, so they slap AI on everything, whether it makes sense or not. Apple itself has been criticized for being slower than rivals like Google and Microsoft in the AI space, which makes the subplot land even harder. Randy's nonsense pitch about transforming insights from the cannabis ecosystem into global action feels ridiculous, but it's not far from the kind of vague promises we hear in real corporate announcements. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.